Brad Pitt on F1, co-star Damson Idris. The guy's got the chops. In a hotel conference room in New York, Damson Idris looks down at his shoes and grins, a little bashful. Across from him, Brad Pitt chuckles. Does Damson really need to hear me say this? Pitt teases, nodding toward his co-star in the new F1 movie, now playing in theaters. Idris playfully shakes his head. I'm just over here picking lint off my pants because of this. But Pitt doesn't let up. He knows how to have fun, something I really admire about him, says the 61-year-old actor. At your age, I didn't know how to enjoy the ride of being a movie star. But this guy gets it. Idris shifts in his seat, clearly flattered. Pitt continues, we cast a wide net looking for the right actor. Beyond the charm, Damson was calm, capable, and, importantly, a solid driver. He had the chops we needed. The 33-year-old Idris lights up and jumps up to shake Pitt's hand. All right, you heard it here first, and last. That's it. My career is complete. The mutual respect is obvious. Idris even jokes. People call him Brad Pitt, but I call him Troy. He'll always be Achilles to me. He adds, I was nervous working with him, but he made me feel so comfortable. He's an incredibly generous performer. In F1, Idris plays Joshua Pierce, a bold rookie Formula One driver facing off with Pitt seasoned veteran Sonny Hayes. It's Idris's biggest role to date, following turns in The Commuter, FX's Snowfall, and Black Mirror. Up next, he'll portray jazz legend Miles Davis in Miles and Juliet, a film exploring Davis's relationship with French icon Juliette Greco. He says he's ready for this breakout moment. I owe so much of who I am to my mom, Idris says, referring to Silifat, a Nigerian immigrant who raised him and his 5 older siblings alone in London. She had me at 40. She calls me her miracle baby. She's my biggest fan and my life's compass. She always reminds me, stay grounded. Idris recalls arriving at the F1 premiere in a Mercedes-AMG with producer Jerry Bruckheimer, crowds chanting his name. Even in those moments, he says, you've got to hold on to your humility. His character's mother in F1 is played by Sarah Niles, of Ted Lasso fame, and Idris says her honest performance reminded him of his real mom. She really nailed it, he says. Another surreal moment from the film? Meeting childhood hero Lewis Hamilton, who not only served as a producer on F1 but also trained Idris and Pitt in high-speed driving. With 7 world championships under his belt, Hamilton remains the only black driver in F1 history and a legend in his own right. Idris drew inspiration from him both on and off screen, especially when he showed up at the Met Gala in full racing gear, before revealing a sleek Tommy Hilfiger suit underneath. The nod to Hamilton was clear. It was important for me that Joshua exists in a world where Lewis is his idol, Idris says. Lewis opened doors in the sport, and Joshua walks through them. But I also wanted people to relate to Joshua not just as a young black man, but as a young man trying to prove himself, period. Filming on real racetracks during actual F1 weekends added to the authenticity, and to Idris's driving skills. So much so that he even got an offer to drive professionally. Someone whispered to me during filming that they'd fund me if I wanted to race, Idris says, smiling. But you really gain a deep respect for these drivers. They've been at it since they were kids. It's a different world. Still, he's developed a love for fast cars. Asked about his favorite, he says, well, it's gotta be a Mercedes, though McLaren's great too. And Lewis is now with Ferrari, so maybe that's on the list. Thanks to F1, Idris doesn't need to buy a car. People are lining up to let him try theirs. I'm blessed to have access to some fun cars these days, he says. People see me in that F1 car and say, here, try this one. And honestly, I'm happy to test drive them all.